British Columbia, who won the gold medal in snowboarding, has tested positive for now this is very, very important. He has tested positive for what is called and I'm quoting sources, our executive producer Doug Sellers has just come in, a passive amount of marijuana. Now, according to Canadian officials, Mark Bulgach from the National tells me marijuana is not an officially banned substance by the Olympic people, but it is illegal in many countries, and that could lead to sanctions. Again, Ross Rebagliati, who won the gold medal in snowboarding in the men's GS, has tested positive for a passive amount is the description for passive marijuana, indicating, I don't know, maybe he inhaled it in a room, I'm not sure, we'll find out more as we go. The Canadian Olympic Association will protest if there's a suspension. We will not know about a suspension for about 33 minutes.
The Executive Board of the International Olympic Committee decides, 1, the athlete Rebagliati Ross, member of the Canadian delegation, is disqualified and excluded from the 18th Olympic Winter Games with immediate effect for presence of marijuana metabolite, a drug subject to certain restrictions under the IOC Medical Code. 2, the Canadian Olympic Association is hereby requested to withdraw and return the medal and diploma awarded to the athlete Rebagliati for his first place in the giant slalom event.
Appeal has and can overturn decisions like that. And I don't think the IOC would be necessarily embarrassed or chagrined that a minority decision, and 3 out of 7 is a minority, however you stack it up, abstentions or negative votes, that if the court overturns this, I don't think the IOC will be dismayed at all. I don't think the IOC has anything at this point to gain from saying, yes, a minority of our executive board members and only 13 out of 25 medical commission members said we should apply sanctions here. The mood among the reporters was that this is a pretty gray area, a pretty fine line. If it had said specifically any residue of marijuana is banned and the reason for disqualification, that's one thing. But when it says subject to certain restrictions and it's a minority-majority vote, that's a very different story.
Way has met with Ross, and we've met with Michael, who is the executive director of the Canadian Snowboarding Federation as well as a team leader for the sport here in Nagano. We were informed by them that the last time Ross used marijuana was April 1997. The test results here in Nagano have indicated that the level of substance found in the athlete was approximately 2.8 nanograms per milliliter over the allowable 15 nanograms per milliliter, which is, in their words, an extremely minor amount. Ross has stated to us that he hasn't used marijuana since April '97. He claims the small amount found in his system is due to the significant amount of time that Ross spends in an environment where he is exposed to marijuana users. While the COA in no way condones or supports the use of marijuana at any time, what we're dealing with here is the reality of an athlete being stripped of a medal. The facts for us in this case are the following. 1, that marijuana is not a performance-enhancing drug, and in fact does the contrary, where it might actually interfere with the performance of an athlete. There is no question that minute traces present in Ross's sample would not have affected the outcome of this competition.
Live from Skydome this evening. To skiing now, to the Olympics. Ross Rebagliati got his gold medal back today, and he is styling. After a tense 24-hour waiting period following the COA appeal of Rebagliati's DQ for testing positive for marijuana, the arbitration board handed down its ruling early this morning. Teresa Cruz has the story from Nagano.
The Canadian Olympic Association had waited close to its phone all day, and when the decision came that snowboarder Ross Rebagliati would keep his gold medal, the world was watching.
The medal has been awarded back to Ross. The decision has been overturned, and we'll have the full statement at 7:30.
The arbitration court, made up of 3 judges from the U.S., Sweden, and Poland, met in the IOC headquarters and ruled that the IOC did not challenge Ross Rebagliati's story that he had not taken marijuana since April of 1997, and that his positive test could only be attributed to secondhand ingestion before his departure from Canada for the Games. They also pointed out that the official drug guide for the Nagano Games does not list marijuana as a prohibited substance, but as one that should be used cautiously.
It was very clear to the tribunal that there were no legal grounds based on the medical code as it exists today, and based certainly on the FIS regulations as were clarified by its president during the evening last night.
Everybody at home in Canada, thanks for the support.